We meet some very, very accomplished students in the city of Calgary who just went through an international competition, and it is the World Schools Harvard Debate Championship Tournament. And representing Calgary and doing very, very well within the top 20, we welcome Sunit to the program, as well as Michael, Sunand, and their coach, Darren. This is representing Team Churchill. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us this morning. This is very exciting. How unusual, we'll start with you, Sunit, and how unusual would it be for a Calgary team to play so well in a competition like this?
Well, normally Calgary, and especially Canada as a whole, hasn't been a part of these tournaments very regularly. And so I think that especially Calgary, with our Team Churchill being invited there specifically, is quite an honor, and it's quite really a good, great, it's pretty amazing to have actually been competed at that level and done so well. And I think it really shows how much we've improved as individuals over debate over the years as well.
And you need to be invited.
Right.
It's by invitation only.
Yes.
Tell us about the preparation, Michael. What goes into something like this?
Yeah, well, usually in debates, there's two types. You have a prepared motions, and then you have impromptu motions. And typically prepared motions, you get them beforehand. So those were the ones that we obviously prepared in Calgary before we headed to the debate. Whereas the impromptu motions, we received at Harvard, and we had to prepare kind of on the spot there. So for those, you just try to keep up to date with current events and hope you get something that you can speak on well.
Incredible. And how is it judged, Sunand? How do you enter the arena, and how do they sort of level the playing field?
Right. Okay. Well, judging primarily happens. We have Harvard students that do the judging, as well as judges that come along with teams, so primarily coaches and things like that. And the tournament itself runs where each team is matched up with another team from another country, perhaps. You debate on a topic, and the judge makes his decision as to which one was stronger in terms of both content and style.
Okay, incredible. And for you, Darren, what was impressive for you and your students in competing against international teams from all over the world?
Well, I think it was really interesting to see all the different teams that took part in the tournament. There was some really varied skill levels that we saw, and I think our team did really well up against some of the top teams in the world that competed in this.
Okay, yeah. And you came in 19th, which is incredible. What topics did you end up debating on?
Well, we debated a variety of topics. So, for example, this house would ban cash. We talked about the democratization of journalism. We talked about how robot taxes, as well as like other cultural issues, just a wide variety of topics, such as NATO as well. So just spanning everything from politics to science to economics to anything you think of, really.
This is obviously something that's way outside high school curriculum. So how do you make sure that you're well prepared to be able to compete?
Yeah, well, most of the preparation for at least the prepared topics are obviously team research. A lot of the time, you just got to know your stuff. You got to go online and read everything. Yeah. And like I said before, impromptu topics come mainly down to you knowing current events, making sure you know what's going on with the world, and you know how to respond to issues that they might give you in those rounds.
Okay, and what was impressive to you in some of the other teams in comparison to the skill set that Calgarians brought to the table versus other countries, and the #1 team being Peru?
Right.
So how did you compare to some of the other countries?
Absolutely. I think it's very interesting to see nations from around the world, some nations that aren't very familiar to the debate scene. And I think that Calgary and Canada in general have been very involved in the past in debate. And I think it's a part of the Calgarian culture, if I can say that. But ultimately, what I think other nations bring to the table is a different perspective. I think a lot of the times you see teams like Peru really referencing a lot of things that happened in South America in the last 20 so years, right? And those are things that Calgarians might not be able to provide, but a different perspective is certainly something we got from this sort of experience.
Fascinating. Well, congratulations to you on your accomplishment and on representing Calgary on an international stage. You're going to stay with us, and we're going to see some of these debate skills put to the test. Welcoming to the program, we have the 2017 World Schools Harvard Debate Championship Tournament from Team Churchill this morning. So, Sunand, you're going to help me moderate this, along with Michael and Sunit, who will be competing for Team Churchill, and for Team BT, we have our Andrew Schultz and our Leah Sarich.
Oh, no.
The topic will be decided upon the flip of a coin. Is this typical?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yep.
All right.
So we'll flip a coin, and I'll have your team call it. Would you like heads or tails?
Let's go with heads.
Heads.
Oh.
If it falls on the floor.
Off to a great start.
Okay, there it is. Heads, off to a great start. So that means you get to select. And the topic being, what is better, hot dogs or hamburgers? What side would you like to choose?
What do you want, Sunit? What do you think?
You can pick, Michael.
Let's support Support burgers.
Okay, supporting burgers.
Hey, we're going to support hot dogs.
That's,
Also, can I get some support, Nick? Real quick? Okay.
That's
we're-
what's left.
We're ready. So do they start? What happens
okay,
first?
cameraman Nick. Andrew
podium.
Schultz needs a soapbox to stand on sometimes, and so there you have it right there. And so now
might need
traditionally
one
what would
too.
happen? Who would go first? The leading team?
So they're props, so
Oh, we're
Let's-
prop. Okay,
let's,
we're just assigned prop.
all
Sure,
right, so
we can
you're-
start it off.
Okay.
So let's talk about hamburgers. Now, normally we have pillars, but I don't think we really have time for pillars here. So I think, hamburgers are really great because they're the whole package. In hot dogs, you got to add the condiments yourself. You don't really get the veggies. But in hamburgers, you get the vegetables, you get the sauces, you get the juices from the meat. It's all in there wrapped up together. That's why I think, hamburgers, they're really great to eat. Hot dogs, more of an on-the-go thing. So I think hamburgers overall are just a lot better than hot dogs.
Good point. Good points made. Good points made by Michael. Well done. Okay, now who will take the floor for Team BT?
I'll start.
Thank you, Andy.
Which
How
camera?
strange.
This camera? I'd like to address a few of your points. The merits of the hot dog. The hot dog has been around for centuries. The versatility of the hot dog, which you even touched on, it's very portable. Although you can enjoy it at a beer hall, at a guest house, and enjoy it with friends. It brings people together. The international appeal of the hot dog, as you can go with Polish, you can go with Ukrainian, you can put garlic in there. You can go with chicken, beef, pork. You can go with a vegetarian, or have you heard of the tofu dog even? Over the years, the hot dog has
He
had...
throws down the tofu.
Over the years, the hot dog is, in fact, the staple when it comes to sporting events. Every carnival features the hot dogs, and kids' birthday parties are celebrated with hot dogs.
All right, the
What
case
he
for hot
said.
dogs from Team BT. And unfortunately, we don't have time for a rebuttal round, but
Oh,
I'd like an assessment here.
Oh,
Darren,
no.
come on in here. Come on into center floor. And Darren being the coach
So hard.
of course, Team Churchill that came in very well in the actual debate competition. And your thoughts on both teams, and try not to be biased.
You
Thank
know, they did really well. I think Michael opened really well, but
Very good.
Andy over there had some really good points as well. Although in his clash, he didn't really address anything that he said, even though he said that he was going to.
No, but he said it's on the go, and I said, of course it is.
So you're saying to
convenience
me
and
that
portability.
Andrew Schultz doesn't
Come on.
listen. Oh, now it comes to light. Now
You're
it comes
supposed
to
to
light.
listen to
Yes, you're supposed to listen into a debate. And actually, typically, you would have a rebuttal and a rebuttal,
Yes.
and then what would happen?
Then there would be a closing as well.
Okay, closing
statement.
argument.
Yeah.
And I was asking if our competitors to this side are interested in the field of law. Is that typical for debaters?
I guess some of us do, but a lot of us, for example, we don't necessarily want to go into law one day, but maybe dabble a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe politics?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Possibility. Who knows?
Possibility.
I'm sure there are many,
Yeah.
many
Future leaders.
possibilities, and Andrew Schultz, many possibilities for you in the
That was-
world of hot dogs and hamburgers.
That's the hot seat. That really is the hot seat.
We want to see you in the debate circuit next year.
Yeah, that'll be there
Join
for
us,
sure.
yeah.
That'll be it. That'll be
There
great.
might be an age limit on
That
that
could
one.
be-
Okay, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Congratulations again
Thanks,
and
guys.
continued success.